Hi students, today we would like to discuss second lesson under unit number 4, that is objectives of network analysis. What is the meaning of a network analysis? Before going to know the objectives of network analysis, what is the meaning of a network analysis? Network analysis is a graphical representation to arrangement of events and to completion of a appropriate project work without any delay and with a systematic manner. The network analysis is a logical representation which can be used to maintain the project activities for appropriate completion and maintain time and cost. Let us go to know the objectives of network analysis. The main objective of network analysis is to maintain and minimize the time and cost at an project site. In addition to this main objective, the project management and also network analysis consisting the following objectives. The first one is minimize the ideal resources. Resources are very much limited. These resources are utilized with a appropriate manner or predetermined manner to completion of a project without any problem or without any financial crisis. Network analysis draw the graphical representation how to maintain the ideal resources, particularly finance or money. Money is always scarce. This can be utilized with reference to time and expenditure. Expenditure to be minimized and time can also coordinate with cost. This is a very much important objective which can be played by the network analysis, that is allowing for large variations in the use of limited resources may disturb the whole plan. Thus, efforts should be made to avoid the cost incurred due to ideal resources. Here, we are also remember that limited resources, particularly money, and next followed by labor. These two resources are maximum utilized with a purposeful manner. Cost incurred due to ideal resources. Whenever we are not able to utilize the available resources, the cost or expenditure to be increased. Additionally, resource constrained project scheduling involves the construction of an activity timetable, that is, the project determination of a start and finish time for each project activity, representing the precedence relations and the limited availability of the renewable resources, while optimizing a predetermined scheduling objective. That means here resources are constrained with respect to scheduling. The scheduling construction to be made on the basis of the activity network. How many activities are involved in the total project completion is the main task while preparing the network diagram. According to this activity, start and finish time to be determined with reference to cost can be programmed. So here each and every precedence relations should be linked with the succeeding activity. This can be minimized or renewable according to the optimum utilization of schedule time. The second one is minimize the total project cost. Whenever a project is taken over by the contractor or a manager, then the primary motive is minimization of the total cost, total investment, or sometimes called as a total expenditure. This can be happened while preparing the appropriate and defined network diagram, network analysis, which may be more focused on cost and delay. That means how much time to be taken into consideration with reference to time delay. Sometimes a time delay due to so many unknown incidents. These incidents can also appropriate identified by the network analysis. Accordingly, the network diagram can be prepared. That is, many efforts to be made for minimize the total cost by calculating the cost of delay in the completion of an activity of the project. In addition to the cost of the resources required to carry out the jobs at various speeds. That means here delay can also take into consideration while preparing the project network diagram. How many days are delay with respect to how much cost additionally incurred. This can also determined by the network analysis. That is, project manager that can deliver a quality product or service on time and under budget will be in high demand. That is, according to the quality of the product or services, the network diagram is also taken into consideration with reference to time and cost of product budget can also inculcated while preparing the network diagram. Typically, at the start of scheduling a project, cost is variable and duration is fixed as you seek to find the schedule length. However, after budget approval, cost becomes fixed and the priority. That means here, cost can be estimated or budget can be prepared on the basis of the time schedule. That means when activity started and when a activity was finished. According to the time length, the cost can be arranged, the cost can be charged for each completion of the activity. This is also one of the objective fulfilled by the network analysis. Trade-off between time and cost of project. Trade-off means interdependency, interlink between the time and cost. There is no doubt at all. Network analysis is basically relating to time and cost. Time in the sense scheduling of the each and every activity with reference to how much expenditure to be incurred in each and every activity. Here, time and cost is trade-off means interlinked. Is the relation interdependency? Both are indispensable. Accordingly, the graphical representation was prepared by the network diagram. That is, the idea of trade-off between time and cost of project is centered on the idea that the duration of same activities can be cut down if additional resources are allowed to them. The efficient duration called normal point. That is, the central idea of this concept is a time to be centered with reference to cut down the additional resources. That means whenever if you want to reduce the resources, against you will be supposed to increase the time. This is called trade-off between time and cost. Interlinked, interdependency. That means time is depending on cost, cost is depending on time. Usually there is a trade-off between the duration and the direct cost to do an activity. The cheaper the resources, the larger the time needed to complete an activity. Direct costs for the project contain material cost, labor cost and equipment cost. That means here, whenever if you want to reduce the time, immediately the cost can be increased. Additional resources will be required. A larger time needed to completion of activity, immediately the less cost to be incurred. Vice versa. Direct cost for the project contain mainly material cost, labor cost and equipment cost. The next objective is minimize production delays, interruptions and conflict. That means here the another objective of the project management or network analysis is identification of the production delays, work delays. Sometimes a work can be delayed due to unexpected reasons. For example, floods, heavy rains, or shortage of material, or any political disturbances in the state. These are the incidental activities. These can be encouraged work delay at site. The network analysis can also identify the activities involved, they represent constraints. That means how much time to be delayed, what are the reasons, how it will be goes to overcome. This can also one of the objective of the network analysis. Interruptions. For example, sometimes interruptions to be happened. For example, strikes, lockouts in the site. This can also minimize or overcome with the graphical representation, predetermined network analysis, and conflict. Sometimes a conflict to be happen between workers and management, workers and workers, or a conflict between technical and non-technical. These are also minimized through predetermined graphical representation of all the activities and events. That is, this is achieved by identifying all the activities involved in the project, their precedence, constraints, etc. Unforeseen project delays can pop up at any time. That means happen at any time and must be managed. Producing high quality characters for committee success. For the project team member, deadline set expectations for work effort and performance. Elements of project success essentials for managing customer expectations and related conflicts. This is also taken into consideration regarding to deadlines, expectations of performance. That means essentials of managing customer expectations related to conflicts. These are also inculcated or including while preparing the network diagram. The next objective is minimize ideal resources. That means whenever an organization is having a ideal resources, that means resources are not using properly. In the situation, the network diagram can also inculcate all the ideal resources for fulfillment of the basic objective. Basic objective is completion of the project work within a stipulated period. Resources construction is very much important, or management is very much important. Otherwise, the activity is not able to complete it according to predetermined task. Event is not able to start and finish according to predetermined target. This can all are minimized for properly utilizing of all the available resources in an organization or in an work site. That is, allowing for large variations in the use of limited resources may disturb the whole plan. Thus, efforts should be made to avoid the cost incurred due to resources. Resources in construction projects are often limited, expensive, and scarce. Thus, allocating resources to project activities plays an important role in construction project management. Getting the shortest project duration sometimes is not necessary in a construction project, because a construction project usually has a predetermined project duration based on its conflict. In the other hand, utilizing resources effectively during project execution is more important. That is, the activities are playing a more important role while completing of a project. The activities are interlinked with the resources. The resources are optimum utilized with the reference of predetermined network diagram. Utilization of effectively during the project execution is a art. This can be success with the help of preparing a network analysis diagram. Time estimate for the project. That means the basic concept of network analysis is time and cost relation, particularly scheduling of total project work. That means how much time to be taken of each and every activity from starting and ending. A appropriate time to be allocated for each and every activity. This can be judged with the help of the network analysis with reference to certain predetermined logical presentation. That is optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time. That is, diagram shows how activities are interrelated with each other from the beginning of the project till the end. It will be very beneficial for calculating the overall project duration. That means interlinked with activities. That means there are various paths to completion of a one task. Which path is very much useful? Which path is very much beneficial? This can be identified with the reference of interrelated activities or paths. That is, have the manager on a project where the deadline was way too tight. Chances are that tempers were frayed, sponsors were unhappy, and team members were working ridiculous hours. Chances are too that is happened because someone estimate the amount of work needed to complete the project. That is here another aspect is deadline for each and every activity is fixed with reference to network diagram. There is a chance of tempers or sponsors are unhappy. Team members are working irresponsibility. These all are minimized with reference to estimation of a time. That means a time can be fixed. It is a target to completion of each and every activity. This can be made with the help of the network analysis. Shows interdependency of activities. Yes, each and every activity is interdependence, interlinked. There is no isolated movement. This can be the nature of the network diagram. Each activity is linked with other activity, succeeding activity and preceding activity. Preceding activity is a support to the succeeding activity. Succeeding activity is based off preceding activity. Like that, each and every activity is interdependent. There is no isolated movement. That is the nature and visual situation of the network diagram. This can be properly and strictly followed by the network analysis. Why? Because the each and every activity is having its role to completion of the total project work. Additionally, since interdependency of activities are visible in the network diagram, it will be easier to see which activity can be started after which one, which activity depends on which other, precedences and successors are each activity, etc. This is very much important. Which activity was when it will be started and when it will be end. A duration, a milestone to be fixed with reference to network diagram. Further, one of the key practices within PDM is project interdependency management. Processes such as normal staffing activities and procurement activities. Project entailed project X, the interdependency shown on generic and the individual interviews, facilitated sessions, group work, meetings, risk rating, and so on. This is also one of the practice which will be also taken into consideration. PDM practice, precedences and direct members. This is also one of the idea which will be also taken into consideration for interdependency of the activities. A normal staffing can also having a certain activities with reference to procurement of activities. Example, if you want to go to take a project X, there are interdependencies shown in a generic, is called a natural. One activity is not enough to completion of the total project work. Here, we are also taking into consideration individual interviews which are very much facilitated to fix the interdependency of the activities with group or meetings or risk taking activities. Next one is workflow of the project activities. Whenever we have drawn the network diagram, it is a graphical representation for showing workflow one after another with a forward movement. There is no any discontinue. There is no any discontinuity. Workflow from starting to end. Between these starting and end, there are so many milestones, so many stages. All stages are having its own time and cost. This is a systematic manner to move forward until to completion. This is a predetermined structure which can be identified, which can be established to completion of a project work without any problem. That is, the project team will know the sequence of activities at a certain point in the project. It will be easier to see in the network diagram that has been accomplished and the remaining activities and their interdependencies with each other. That means here sequence of activities. That means various points are located to start and end of each and every activity, which is very much helpful to know what is the range of project progress. What is the rate of project progress with reference to time and cost? That is, workflows consist of four elements: editor's role, activities, results, and status. Editor's roles means manager role. What type of role is playing by a manager, site manager, according to his knowledge, experience, talent? This can also impress the workflows in an project work. Activities. Activity means task, different timings. Result, products and artifacts. That means the result of the each and every activity or total activity. And status. That means what is the total progress or what is going in an work site. These are the four elements are impress the workflows. A project has editors that carrying out activities in a specific order. Activities produce results. A result may be completed and end product and an Excel sheet. That means editor means here manager, carrying out all the activities according to his direction, specific orders. Activities produce result. Each and every task is having its output, is called result. A result may be completed end product. That means the output can be maximized. That is called a status with reference to Excel state in the present computer field. The next objective is identify opportunities to compress the schedule. That means here sometimes a project schedule was reduced to the possible manner. That is called compression. In technical world, this is a project crashing. That means how much days to be minimized, how much days to be reduced with reference to all availability of resources. This can be estimated, this can be identified with reference to network diagram. Sometimes the contractor is asking, that is, please finish the project within a short period. That means less than the agreed period. In such situation, the project manager can, depending on project crashing, that means according to his experience and talent, the total network duration can be compressed. That means decreased to the extent of hours or to the extent of weeks or months. That is, already the total completion period is 20 days, which can be compressed to the demand of the contractor. In such situation, the 20 days will be maximum decreased to completion of a project. For example, it was decreased further by 2 days. That means it will be completed 18 days. This is known as opportunities to compress the schedule. This is also one of the benefits which can be availed by go through the network analysis. That is, sometimes need to shorten the duration of the activities. This can be carrying behind the project schedule. In order to complete the project on time, need to compress the schedule with order of the activities and durations. Schedule compression is a technique used in project management to shorten an already developed schedule. This might be done to meet update delivery date, a new opportunity or schedule delay. It's done without changing the scope of the program. There are two techniques that are commonly used in schedule compression, that is crashing and fast tracking. That means here the management can also take some decision to shorten the predetermined to completion period. This can be happen to reduce the schedule time with reference to two techniques. First one is crashing. That means a highest path duration to be reduced to next highest path duration is called crashing. Fast tracking means the total work to be speed with reference to maintaining of the additional resources. Any one can be used to compress the schedule. The another objective is network diagram shows project progress. That means how much project was completed, how much percentage of project was completed. This can also estimated with reference to network diagram, because each and every milestone is having its own time and cost. Then it is easily to identify the percentage of work completed out of total project work. That is, it shows the order of activities in a project and a total path from the beginning of the project till the end. It is a good instrument for showing the project progress. The fluctuations are easily identified the further precautions. Whenever you go through the total network diagram, it is easy to identify the movement of the each and every activity, time delay. If the time delay is more, immediately the project manager is taking appropriate decisions or precautions. Additionally, since it shows the order of activities in a project and a total path from the beginning of the project till the end, it is a good instrument for showing the project progress. That means what is the total stage of the project work, how much time to be additionally taken to completion of the project, what are the difficulties, how much time delay, what are the reasons for time delay. These are all verified and studied with reference to network diagram. Next one is discuss the behavioral aspects of project. That means the total attitude, movement of the project can also understand with reference to network analysis. That means what are the hurdles, what are the constraints are facing by each and every activity due to natural and non-natural reasons, technical and non-technical reasons. This can also identified by the project manager. The total behavior with respect to project, with respect to technology, with respect to workers. Then appropriate precautions can also be taken over by the project manager. That is, project manager must be able to motivate their members. Without motivation, the project cannot be completed. If there is any loss of motivation, immediately the project should not be completed. Project manager maintain good leadership to accommodate and coordinate all the aspects of the project. This is also one of the goals which can be performed by the project manager. The behavioral aspects of project manager consist of many different areas that our project manager must create a master in the project site. The organizational culture is one area that can take time to master for any project manager. The culture of an organization can be the success or failure of the project. Management must share common beliefs and values and be willing to stand by them at the most critical times. That means here, the project manager is a master. He can execute all the activities. He can prepare the master plan, how to coordinate all the aspects, all the budgets within one roof. This can also take in consideration to completion of the organizational success. Failure to be minimized. How it is possible where you maintain a better culture in the project site. If there is any problem or any non-culture activities, the project should create troubles which leads to more expenditure. This can all are minimized to maintain the behavioral aspects of the project in any field. Next one is discuss the work breakdown structure. That means there is a breakdown structure, basically hierarchical listing of that most of done during the project work. That means a periodical intervals are also common while executing the project work. The periodical work can also called as breakdown. How many breakdowns are required to completion of the total project? This can also planned by the network analysis. The manager can prepare a number of breakdowns or breakdown patterns while preparing the total network diagram. The breakdowns can be related to activities or main groups into subgroups. From the main groups serves as a focal point of planning. That means the breakdown can happen anywhere. At an activity level or at a main group level or any subgroup level or any other department level. These are all are identified by the network diagram, can give you some provisions in the preparation of the network diagram. Breakdown structure in project management and systems engineering is a deliverable oriented breakdown of a project into smaller components. A work breakdown structure is a key project deliverable that organize the team's work into manageable sections. That means the breakdowns, or if you want to go to call as a hierarchical time gap of one activity to another activity, these all are planned by the manager for the success of the project work. Project deliverable organizations teamwork into manageable sections. Whenever the total project work is divided into understandable and as well as team work related sections. Let us go to see one example how to draw the network diagram. Example 1. Draw the suitable network diagram from the following activity A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Duration may be hours or maybe days or maybe weeks. A activity completed 8 days. Again 8, 9, 3, 6, 2, 7, 6, 0. Now here precedential activity. That means before activity. Which activity is giving you some idea. A activity before, no any activity. B activity before, no any activity. Before C activity, no any activity. Before D activity, A activity to be required. Before E, B activity required. Before F, C activity required. Before G, D, E, F activity is required. Before H activity, C activity required. Before I activity, G, H activity is required. According to this information, draw a suitable network diagram. Let us go to see solution. Now, A activity 1 to 2. This is A activity over. B activity before no precedence, no activity. A activity before here, no activity. Okay, completed. Next, B activity before no activity. This is B activity 1 dash 3 B activity. C activity before no activity. Okay, 1 dash 4. These A, B, C before no activity. Listen here, arrow mark, no activity, success. D activity, A activity is there. Here I have taken here 2 to 5. D activity before A is there, success. E activity before B is there. Now here 3 to 5. Draw me another activity. Before E activity, B activity is there, success. F activity. Before F activity, C activity required. Now here this is F activity I have drawn. Before F activity, C activity required. Yes, already is there. Success. Next, G activity. Before G activity, D, E, F activities are required. I have taken, this is G activity, 5 to 6. Before G activity, here D is there, E is there, F is there. Success. Next, H activity. Before H activity, C activity required. Now this is H activity. Here I have taken 4 to 6. I have drawn. Before H activity, C activity required. This is C activity. Is there. Success. Now I activity. Before I activity, GH activities are required. I have already taken 6 to 7 drawn. I activity. Before I activity, GH activities are there. Okay, success. So according to this information, I have prepared a well-structured network diagram. This is a one repeated model in the examination point of view. Let us go to example 2. Prepare a suitable network diagram. I have given here 1-2, 2-3, 3-6, 2-4, 1-5, 5-6, 4-6, 5-7, 7-8, 6-8. These are the activities. Each activity is having its own duration 4, 2, 6, 6, 2, 8, 9, 7, 10, 1. Prepare a suitable network diagram. Now 1-2 here, this is 1-2, 4 days I have taken. Next 2-3 here, taken 2 days. 3-6. Now this is forward movement. Already 2 is over 3. 3 to 6 here. 3 to 6, 3 days. Next, 2 to 4. This is 2 to 4. I have taken element here. Next, 1 to 5. Here, 1 to 5. Forward. Next, 5 to 6. Already 5 is there. 5 to 6. Already I have given 6 already there. I have taken a 1 arrow. 4 to 6. This is already 4 is there. I have given a arrow mark here. 4 to 6. 9 days. 5 to 7. Already 5 is there. 7 I have taken here 1 element. Here given a arrow mark. Drawn a arrow mark. 7 to 8. Already 7 is there. 8 I have drawn a 1 element. That means 1 circle. Here 10 days. 6 to 8. Already 6 is there. 8 is there. I have taken a 1 arrow. This is a another example or very much important in the examination point of view. Thank you.